Hello, Dr. Danger Massett here, and I've got this interesting piece. As you can see, it's solid oak. The top is a bit shot at, just there. The drawers and the doors have got rather an interesting pattern on, and these handles have been put on which don't really complement the style. So I'm going to crack on and see what I can do with this. Well, we're going to make a start on the drawers first. The first thing we need to do is get the handles off. Now if you look at the back of the drawer, the handle being here, there's a small nut which we've got to hold while we twist off the knob. There we go. And now we need to look at the front. The rest of it's in pretty good nick, so I won't need to do anything with that. It's just this. I have no idea what this is or how it's attached. So all I'm going to do is start by pulling it away and see what happens. Oh, that's a good start. It looks like material. This could be easier than I thought. This never happens. I mustn't speak too soon. I thought I was going to be here for hours pulling all this off. Ooh. So what I've got now is 80 sandpaper, which is very coarse, just to take the top layer of goo or whatever it is that was gluing that on. So that's come up quite good. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to run over it with a 120. I've got a 120 grit here. This is one of the metal ones, which I'm going to put on. The 120 is a finer grit, so it'll give the top a finer finish. That's one drawer done. That was remarkably easy, and all I've got to do now is another 5. So the next thing is I've had to do some repairs to the chips and dents that were on the edge of the top face. I have to do it bit by bit, especially with the bigger ones. Like this one on the corner, don't know if you can see. This is quite largish. So the wood filler I'm using is multi-purpose wood filler. It's light and, more importantly, it's stainable. So if you choose to put a colour on the wood later, it will absorb that colour. Always apply it with one of these. It's a flexible bit of metal which enables you to push it right in to all the gaps and then smooth it off afterwards. Next up, we've got the cupboard doors. To do the job properly, you need to take the doors off, which is easy enough. You open it up here. You can see we've got the hinges here which we need to remove. And we need a screwdriver. We start at the bottom. Okay. Next thing we want to do is remove this handle, because it makes it much easier to sand, and plus when we finish it we can get underneath it, which gives a much better finish. So we turn this round. We have some screws here. And there we have the handle. So next up we are going to sand it in exactly the same way that we did with the drawers. I'm going to give it a bit of a scrape first to get some of the varnish off. And next stop is sanding down this frame. Now, not much needs doing to these ends. They're in quite good condition, so I just literally ran over them with a 120. I ran over the front, all the struts for the drawers and the cupboards, just the fronts, nothing else needs doing, and of course the other side. A little bit more concerning is the top. As you can see here, I've had to do some filling, which I'll sand off. That's not a concern really, but these are a little more of a concern, these dark rings. I'm hoping sanding will get rid of them, but if not, I've got a trick up my sleeve. Also, watermarks and all kind of other things going on. So I'm going to start with Grit 80 with an Orbital sander and see where we get with that. Top is actually coming up quite nice, except these black marks here. Sanding is not going to work for this. They're too deep. You're going to end up taking too much substrate off. So we think about how they got there and apply chemistry to get rid of them. Basically, metal has reacted with water to create that stain. So we need to unreact it by using something called oxalic acid, and that is in Barkeeper's Friend. Just wax them on like that and rub it in. I might even get a wire brush to speed up the process, because I don't want to be sitting here waiting for an hour for it to react. This stuff is brilliant. Let's just take that off. Mess around with bits and bobs. You see, I find a lot of the time people fanny around with, oh, always use bicarbonate and vinegar, or always treat anything gently. You don't have to, this is oak. You can give it a bit of welly. This is a brass brush. I'm just going to work it into the grain a little bit. Once all that's done, leave it. I mean, stubborn ones may take several attempts and up to an hour of being left. So I've rubbed all the oxalic acid off with a cloth, and I'm just waiting for the top to dry so that we can have another quick sand. It's looking pretty good. There's only this little bit I'm not entirely sure about, but it still needs to dry a little bit more. All the oxalic acid has been done. It's been all wiped off, and we can go for some final sanding. So I'm going to start with the 80 grit sandpaper again. No! Black ring marks. When the final 120 grit sand has been totally completed to give it a nice smooth finish, you'll get some idea of how the black stains have gone away. So final stage now, before we finish with hard wax oil, is to wipe it all down with a damp microfiber cloth to get rid of all the dust. Final stage, hard wax oil. So I've had to come inside because although I like it outside, typical British weather, started raining, and we do not want rain on our hard wax oil. Oh, this stuff is beautiful. Look at it. What's it? Amber from the gods or something? No, nectar from the gods. Just goes on so nicely. You pay a bit more for it, it's Gilboys, but it's well worth it. Right then, we are now going to let that go off, and that's going to be overnight. So I'll see you tomorrow. We are going to apply it all over the carcass in the exact same ways we did with the doors and the drawers. Next stage is we're putting on new knobs, which is dead easy. You unwrap them, feed the screw through the back, secure the screw with a screwdriver, and twist the knob against the screwdriver. You have a knob. Once all the knobs are on the drawers, we can move to restoring the hardware on the doors, which is easy. Just make sure you get the handle the right way up. Now I've marked these doors, so this one's left and that one is right, so that I know how to reassemble them with no problem. The pull is facing down like that, so it's got bits here which slots into the holes. We twist it over. It's got a washer on the screw there, so that goes on first. You just try and locate it into. There we go. Turn it up with this. And handle with a knob. In terms of hardware, next up, all we've got now is the second door, and then we're ready to put the doors back on and the drawers back in. And so we have the final piece. Turned out rather well. If you like this video, you know what to do. You can press like and subscribe if you want to. You can buy me a coffee with a thanks button. Or, what I'd like even more than that, if you leave a comment down below and let me know what projects you've got going on. And also, what you thought of this one. I'll see you soon.